why some customer success teams deliver amazing results and some don't. Nowadays, more companies than ever establish a CS function, but not many are achieving a high net retention rate. And in this keynote session, we will tackle what separates a high-performing customer success managers or CSM organizations and executives from those who underperform. The session is with Irit Aizips, Chief Commercial Officer, CEO at CSM Practice.
Hi, everyone. Today, I'll be sharing my experience and expertise with you on what separates high-performing teams from those who don't.
Before we start, I'd like to remind everyone, subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the great videos that we produce on customer success.
This is one of the most powerful and insightful charts in customer success studies. Some customer success executives build customer success programs that achieve a mere 92% net retention rate. Some customer success teams produce great result, 125 and more in net retention rate. And what sets them apart, the customer success executives of those who produce these higher results will be looking forward to drinking mimosas on the beach and celebrating their annual bonuses while looking forward to a great exit. The ones to the left, unfortunately, will be busy blaming the product team for not addressing their product requests. They'll be blaming management for not giving them the right budget. All along the while, we'll be probably looking for their next job. What does make the difference between these two types of customer success team that could lead to such massive difference? Most companies that suffer from a low net retention rate fundamentally have an issues with the way that their customer success managers connect with their customers and partner with them. For example, I find that many customer success organizations focus their customer success managers teams on answering support tickets, going through the renewals and produce retention contracts. A bulk of their time is just handling that. Or maybe they do handle customers onboarding, but they do it to a specific scope of work, to a specific deliverable, not outcomes. I just wanted to emphasize that as customers, when we're the customer of a software company, I want to remind us all that we're just too busy to really share with the customer success manager what are our outcomes. Sometimes we don't really know it and need some help. Sometimes we don't give our vendor all the resources they need to help us be super successful. And we certainly don't have the time to go to their knowledge base and get updates on their latest and greatest features or what else we should be doing with their application. Customer success managers just need to basically, at the very fundamental level, shift this discussion with customers and focus from less on features and functions and really work towards building this trusted advisor relationship with customers. The way that they do that is that they need to build an alignment on business outcomes and advise on best practices with those stakeholders and just really create that trust in helping them become successful. These companies are successful because they achieve this alignment with customers and they have their customer success teams do really well these three things. First of all, high-performing customer success teams, they really know their customers better than anyone else. They know their customers' go-to-market strategies. They know their priorities, not just their technical requirements. They don't just focus on the issues and their contracts. They also don't take the time to better understand their business, their go-to-market strategies. A couple of years ago, I did a project with a large public company, and I had one software vendor work with me, and their customer success manager waltzed into the virtual room, and she could cite the specific quantitative strategic goals of the executive in the room. It was so phenomenal, the level that she took the time to really understand and articulate and memorize those specific goals. They also nurture their customers during the onboarding period. They really help them build a long-term vision versus just setting them up technically. They actually nurture all of them instead of like using generic email campaigns and generic in-app messages. They leverage data to deliver the right message to the right person at the right time. And that really makes us feel like this is a really good fit when we do that. The customer success manager really knows what we need at the time that we need it. And that's what builds this amazing connection. I feel like the customer success manager knows us. The second thing that they do really well, those high-performing net retention teams, is the customer success managers know how to connect with each of their customers in a meaningful and a significant way. They connect with their customers' key stakeholders individually and deeply. They know them in a personal level, not just their families, and they ask individual personal questions, but they also understand their own makeup and what do they want to drive, what the success looks like for them, what is their personal agenda within their own organization, their career goals, so to speak, what motivates them personally, what is their preference for communication. They take the effort to connect not just with those who use the application, but actually connect with stakeholders at all levels. They connect with multiple departments. So for example, if you are working with enterprise companies, it is very important to sometimes connect with the folks in procurement, because large enterprise companies will decide whether to renew your contract. Sometimes from within the procurement team, they would make those decisions. Having a line to that team is very important. Sophisticated customer success managers know to do that. They also collaborate with other business units or other teams that might have the opportunity to increase the usage across the organization. It's easy to connect with just those that use your application. But if you were to take it to the next level and produce high-level results, you actually need to strive to have these deeper connections and business leads within that customer framework. The last thing and the most important thing of all is the ability to build trust and earn your customers' trust by being proactively consultative, offering ways for customers to realize value faster. We want to move the conversation away from support tickets, features, functions, and other reactive tactical work, and instead think about how can we proactively start working with our customers to educate them on best practices, on how they benchmark against other companies or other customers that we have in terms of methodologies, how they work with us, and really proactively create a clear outline to product adoption. Customers don't always know all the features and functions they should be using in order to establish a specific outcome. We need to be able to arm our customer success managers with the right questions for the right situation. We need to help our customers to go through complicated situations at times. And high-performing customer success teams do define success plans, and they follow through them with their customers to make sure that they actually accomplish them. Really, 3 simple things, really simple, but not easy. We should probably start, in order to implement these, with just the fact that we can all agree that the world which we live in has changed dramatically since 1980s, where the principles of account management and of on-premise software companies still worked back then. As we move to the cloud, our ability to connect through Slack and in-app messages switch from working remotely, especially during the coronavirus. Everybody transforms in the way that we work with customers. And I think this is the era of CS 2.0. We need to really think carefully of how can we leverage data and technology to scale. Successful companies actually invest a lot in countless new channels, tools, customer data, and they're not afraid to develop these new challenges to better engage with their customers based on the data that they have. I believe there's just way too many companies and specifically customer success teams that still do things like it's 1980s and not really capturing on the holistic array of solutions out there that we can in order to take it to the next level. Companies have always used customer surveys, advisory board, just to be able to catch a glimpse of what customers want and what customers feels. Sometimes, of course, it's really hard. When you send out a survey, you might have hundreds of replies, and sometimes you have hundreds of thousands of new users that reply. So it's quite imprecise if you have a large customer base with just a few hundred responses. Over the years working with companies, what I found is that you have to adjust for the unique business needs of every customer and sometimes end user to really proactively communicate on what matters in their language, ideally, for their business world, in their terminologies too. That's what creates this profound level of connection and relationship with customers. And certainly, if you arm your customer success manager with that information, they can create a much more profound relationship with the stakeholders of their customers and customer base. The combination of leveraging customer data alongside appropriate messages in the right channels can lead to a very strong relationship and the opportunity to build trust. It was very difficult to get the data in the old days, and some of you might still be working for on-prem companies and say, well, we don't have usage data. Fortunately, today, there's just so much data everywhere besides usage that you can find and leverage. And today, companies often serve huge amount of end users, and it's really imperative to invest in technology and data to really know every single customer, almost make them feel like we know them personally, and really know and understand what they want and what they need. They actually expect us to almost know what they want and need. You know, your customers actually expect you to know them, even though it's very difficult, and they expect you to give them what they need in a timely manner. Fortunately, we have a lot of options, a lot of customer data in very different software solutions that we can invest in. And leveraging that customer data can really help deliver the relevant and engaging content, including valuable tips, advice, guidance that your customers actually crave for and need to be super successful with you. And the ability to deliver this proactive, relevant message for each customer really fosters this sense of shared experience and community that really results in maximizing customer value. The right technology in the right place can really drive meaningful relationship for your customer success managers. To help you embark on this journey, as you can see, I created this tech stack, which you, by the way, can download by texting to the number on the screen. If you need help selecting the right solutions and the right software, or if you already have a fairly comprehensive stack and need to figure out how to leverage it better, what metrics should you follow, what calls to action should you have, what campaign you should fire off when, at CSM Practice, we offer a range of service offerings, and we'd love to work with your team to just help you get better at this. Fundamentally, once you make the investment in technology, you should use the data to generate and deliver the right analysis and the right message at the right time to the right customer through the right preferred channel. What that might include is there's myriad of channels that you can establish once you have the data. And specifically speaking, there's a number of ways that you can scale your customer success communication in an effective manner. And this is important, not only because it will help you become more effective, but also to ensure that you deliver the right message using the preferred methods of communication. You will most likely need to invest in a customer success operations team. I want to emphasize that it takes time to know, connect, and foster trust with each of your customers and leveraging customer data in a proactive and effective manner. Which really brings me to the final factor in getting amazing financial results: High-performing executives and teams have leaders that ultimately make these decisions and steer the ship to ultimate success. Just as the best athletes in the world seek the best coach in the world, high-performing executives know that they need the best resources, the best coaches, the best consultants sometimes, but they're not shy in hiring experts either into their team or outsource or look for venues such as these conferences to constantly get access to best practices, to get fresh perspectives, gain access to best-in-class methodologies and innovation in customer success. So hopefully this inspired you to take the next step and reinvest in how you work with your customers. If you are a customer success manager, benchmark yourself against these 3 items. And then if you're a customer success executive, hopefully you get inspired by looking at what else do you need to coach your team? What investments do you need to make in data? We're, of course, here to help. If you want to turn your team into a mimosa drinking one, CSM Practice has a number of service offerings to help your team gain access to all of those.